I am making a second video because I am trying my hardest to stick to the YouTube thing. Because I've finally got enough stuff going on in my life that I can actually turn it into something and not just have useless, uninteresting content. I feel like some of my stuff is almost interesting, right? Something like that. Anyway, today I'm working on my Crown Vic that was spotted in the last video right at the very end. It's scheduled to go in for safety on Sunday. It's currently Thursday. It's 7 p.m. I have 2 days approximately to do a lot of stuff. And this video will also recap the stuff I've already done, because it's been a lot more than I thought I was bargaining for. But it is the final stretch, and I think it'll almost be cool. I don't know. I've got a little idea for this thing for after it's passed to safety. It's a couple of little things I'm gonna do to it that'll make it really, set it over the top of this is stupid. Why did you do that? So, without further ado, here's what I'm working on. We'll kick things off with what I've already done, and then we'll roll into what I've got left to do. So the major thing this car needed, because all of these need them, by the time they roll off the lot, the rockers fall off of them because they're rotten. So I rebuilt the entire rocker panel, rear cab corner and front cab corner. I think some people call these dog legs. Don't quote me on that. But it is in fact real metal. There's some Bondo in there. There's a little bit, cover the seam up, make it look almost nice. But it's real metal. Where did that real metal come from? Washer and dryer that crapped out a couple months back. So the sheet metal that's free is the sheet metal for me. It also got a floor patch here, which is pretty much the entire driver rear footwell. I totally just shut that over some fresh paint. Yep, I painted my door seal. We're gonna not close that. And it got a floor patch here, just right around below the pedals. Then, as this thing was a cop car, it had antennas on it. The last people decided to do a body job on this, and they just slapped Bondo over it. There's actually a plug in it now. Same for both the spots in the roof. Little paint defect there that I wanted to get rid of. And yeah, that's pretty much all I did in terms of body work. And then I got replacement fenders for this side and that side, because I really couldn't be bothered to fix all that. It just wasn't worth it to me. So these are pretty good fenders. They fit a little rough when you're actually trying to put them on, but if you've got the patience to massage them in, they're pretty good. I got these on Hunt Parts, and they are. I'm not gonna say that out loud. I'm gonna butcher that, but you get the point of it. But yeah, these original fenders were extremely crunchy, so wasn't gonna bother. Don't waste my time. Just got new ones. Then I did the passenger exhaust manifold, because it had 2 snapped studs, and I figured, well, manifold's $150. I'll just throw a manifold at it and make sure that I don't accidentally put a porous one back on. Driver's side was good. It had something funny with the steering column. It was notchy when I first got it, but the problem cleared up, so I'm going to leave it because I don't want to tear that all apart. This wire here leads to a sub that I installed in the trunk, which I don't have the keys on me right now, but later in the video I will remember to include at least pictures of the sub. It's a dual 12 Serwin Vega. It's a pretty good sub. It'll bump. Tore most of the interior out of it for them floor patches, and I rewired a good chunk of the radio because it had about 6 feet of extra wiring behind it, which I'm not even kidding. Got my my switch mounted here for the bass boost, very neatly tucked under there. I like stuff like that. Got to keep it clean. Got to keep it clean. I shut the same door again. Oh well. The sub wiring is run down here, under this, and then up towards the front, and then the power goes to the battery, and then the rest of the wires go to the back of the head unit. Then, what else did I get done to this? Oh, yeah. Probably the worst thing by far was doing the fuel tank strap back here. It's hard to see because it's dark, but this was pretty miserable and I damaged the mount pretty severely. I'm hoping nobody's going to look too hard at that. And then the obvious, well, I ended up doing axles, wheel bearings, wheel seals, a complete parking brake assembly, pads and rotors on the rear. More for the peace of mind, because if you aren't too familiar with these cars, the way they operate is, here are my original axles. If you see that down there, that's where the bearing rides. The bearings don't have inner races. So the rollers actually ride on the axle itself. So when the bearing goes out, it chews the crap out of the axle, and then you need a whole new axle. So I figured I would just do it and get it over with before I had to get back into this thing. Because this is meant to be a daily. This thing's going to stay fairly normal. Fairly normal. Emphasis on the fairly. So to start off with, in terms of stuff I have to complete, obviously the hood has to go back on. The front bumper has to go back on. And this fender, I'm not quite done installing. I had a pretty rough time getting that bolt in up here. It did not line up at all. So I got pretty fed up with it the other night and I just left it be. Oh, also another thing I forgot. I put LED headlights in these, because the headlights are junk in these cars. You cannot see a darn thing at night. But after that fender's on and completely on, then I have to put the whole side back together. Like, that section of intake came off, the intake box, the ECU came off, and there's a couple of other little things that hang around on there. Turn signal's got to go back on both sides. The rear wheels have to get put on. Obviously, that's pretty simple. This has to get painted green. Same for the spots on the roof. And I've got, let's see the damage. Oh, not bad. I didn't paint it too hard. I'll probably have to respray that quick. And I've got a little bit of painting left here, but the reason it's not white is because it'll be green. So I'm waiting for the white to dry, and then it'll go green. And pretty much the same idea for the other side, except the other side, I still need to sand a good portion of the lower seam. Like, this is all untouched, fresh Bondo, so that's got to get sanded, and then the whole thing has got to get painted. And worst of it all, the floor patches are not complete. They're welded in all the way around, but the Bondo's not done on them, and there's a lot more than... I enlisted help, and that help ended up putting a crap load of Bondo on it, way too much. So I'm going to take it back down to bare metal and just do the actual edge of the patch, not the entire patch. And same goes for the front. The front's not as bad. It doesn't have so much Bondo on it, but it's still a little rough. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and complete this over the next 2 days and juggle that between friggin' going to work and doing this and other life things that I have to deal with. And yeah, I'll probably keep making clips over the next 2 days to shorta sort of demonstrate the progress. Oh, if I haven't made this clear yet, this car has a name. It's not like oh, its name is Bertha. No, I don't use people names for my cars. I named this thing Chief Footlong because it's subway green, and well, it was a cop car, so obviously it's got to be Chief Footlong, right? So yeah, long live Chief Footlong. We're gonna get this thing legal and going down the road so that we can eventually move on to one of my other projects. Something I bought knowing it was going to be a project, not something I bought as a daily and went, well, crap, this needs 2 months of work. So after that thing's done, we're going to start working on my truck. This thing needs quite a bit. Yeah, no motor. So yeah, this'll be pretty exciting. Oh yeah, and the summer's got to go on as well. I have to not forget that, but I'll probably safety it on the winters because the winters look better than the summers. Just really make sure that it's not gonna fail, because I don't have time to fail. I've got things going on at the end of the month and I need this thing to pass. So, see what we can do. I may take pride in my work. I may take it pretty seriously, but, well, I'm never too good for just a spray bomb, you know? Spray bomb, no primer, you know how it is. I'm a fleet mechanic, come on. You really think I'm gonna do better than friggin' spray bombs? Just lather it on there. Oh, is the car dirty? Spray bomb. You got rust? Spray bomb. I'm saving the world one can of spray paint at a time, don't you worry. Oh yeah, it's dirty right there. That's fine, because it's now white again. This is what you call professionalism. So while I'm waiting for a section of Bondo to cure, I've decided to keep assembling this fender. Something with these fenders that is kind of strange is they made the hole for this bolt slash hood strut mount a size too big and not even metric. It's standard. So I'm gonna go ahead and modify this. I've already had to do this for the other side that I did. Chop that off, we'll find the right size bolt, and we'll just go ahead and Zeus it right on there. Well, I've completed my contraption. Is it perfectly welded straight? Absolutely not. Is it gonna work really good? It'll kind of work. I mean, it threads in, so, you know, that's what counts, right? And bonus, with the rear cab corner, or dog leg if you want to call it that, I don't know, done on this side, and the rocker painted up to here, that means we're ready for green. This one is also ready. And I am extremely ready. The back glass is also taped off, except for the bottom, because, well, it's not worth that much effort. And yeah, I'm gonna mix up some green here and we're gonna get going. Green means go! It is all one color again. For the first time in, I don't know, 2 months? Sorry, 9 weeks to be more precise. Gonna give it time to dry. Pretty much wraps up Thursday night for me. I'll resume tomorrow, potentially, when I complete the fender. I did get a little more done on it while I was in between coats. Like, the inner fender is now in there, and the hood latch, well, the hood hinge is on. But yeah, we're so close. Hopefully it'll roll out tomorrow night, but you know, I don't think that's gonna happen because I make deadlines and never meet them. So, but Sunday has no choice but to happen. So whatever happens on Saturday, I have to stay up until it's done. So yeah, we'll resume on a later day. It is Saturday morning. I stayed up pretty late last night and slammed out 95% of what was left on the car. Just got to torque the rear wheels, set the car down, slap the little hubcaps that go on there. Well, I say hubcaps, but more like lug nut cover. Whatever you want to call it. And I got to sand the Bondo on the front floor patch and give it some paint, and that's it. It's done. Bob's your uncle. Hood's on, fender's done, the intake's on. It is about to go down the road for the first time since the first weekend of March. And I also got a lot of garage cleaning done with the help of some friends. So, I think that might be the next thing, is the major garage cleanup. But for this video, we'll just stick with what's going on with this, and we're not going to worry about that. So yeah, I'm going to get to it, and we're going to get this thing on the ground and going. As mentioned earlier on in the video, this thing's got quite the sub in it, because I firmly believe that a good daily has a reasonably good sound system. I still have to do the door speakers, but it's got a sub now, and the door speakers are not the worst in these, so it'll sound pretty good. She footlong is on the ground. We're gonna fire it up for the first time. Let's see if we exploded everything. I think my only current fear is that I somehow arced out a bearing within the motor. Like, you know, rod bearing or a main. But I tried to keep my ground clamp pretty close to my work, so should be a-okay. First sign of life in 2 months. First crank. That was beautiful. TPMS lights always on, because I think the sensor is in the summer tires. I'm not 100% sure on that. And let's see, the door light works. And when you put your seatbelt on, oh, that needs to be worked. Season up, for frig's sakes. Yep, this thing's ready to roll. I'm gonna give it some little bit of idle time before it starts moving again, and gonna torque the wheels while I do that, and then we're gonna go for a test drive. Well, the C8 vet in front of me is a paid actor. No, I'm kidding. The test drive is going wonderfully. The car is great. I mean, it's not like I've changed much in terms of drivability, but if you hear it doesn't have that god-awful clatter anymore that it had before it had a good manifold on it. It's very nice to not hear that anymore. And I mean, overall, it's just good. The steering column didn't seize up again, so... Oh shit, we're gonna crash. Just kidding. But, yeah, it feels pretty good. And my new cup holder is working very well. Of course, we had to bring the fire extinguisher because, well, you never know. You never know. And I'll be damned if I have to watch something I've spent 2 months on burn down just because I don't have a fire extinguisher in the car. So, yeah, fire extinguishers. Keep them on your person when you go places in cars that you don't trust. Do that. You may think it's fucking stupid to be a safe person and take precautions, but you'll be feeling real stupid when you watch your whole car burn down. So, yeah. Obviously, that mirror there is, I don't know how well you can tell, but it's delaminating in the corners. But I'm not too worried about that. I think it'll pass. It's fine. Now it needs a major detailing because it is gross in here. So much welding and Bondo and paint, and I got overspray on the windows a tiny bit, and oh yeah, I need to give this thing a good wash. So yeah, this thing is great. I've moved on to the garage cleanup part of this weekend, and because I really messed this place up working on Chief Footlong. But I'm gonna get this all wrapped up, and then the dent side is gonna go right here so that I can start working on it again. Chief Footlong passed a safety today. Oh, there's my Alpha. But yeah, this is a road legal car now. It's been 2 months. Very exciting, but I gave it a good bath yesterday. Still need to do the interior a little better, but I decided to wet sand the trunk, and that was a mistake. So I'm gonna have to respray this. I don't like how it came out. That looks horrible. So that needs a respray. I've got some more cans of the green that I used, so we're gonna tackle that, but not yet. I need to clean the garage really bad, but it's coming along. I've gotten some help, but it's gonna be up to me for the week there to get it done. We rearranged the scrap pile, kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and yeah. So I think I'm gonna leave this video off here, and next up we'll get the dent side in here, and we'll start working on it.